Hi, my name is Freda Kramer, and I'm going to cover the topic of research. Why is research an important aspect of life? The ability to conduct thorough research is important. What type of things do we research in our lives? Uh, we research where we want to go out to eat. We research our background. We research schools that we want to attend. We research neighborhoods that we want to live in. We research uh, questions about our health. We research questions about almost pretty much anything. And the ability to research thoroughly is a skill. And one of the main things that you need to know to do thorough research is where to find information and what types of questions to ask. For instance, if you are looking for a job, you're going to do your research. You're going to see what's out there. You're going to see where the location is. You're going to see what type of culture that company has. Is it going to fit for you? What do they do within the community? Do you want to be associated with them? And what can you do to prove to them that they want to be associated with you? So there's several questions to ask. And the same thing that goes for your health. If there's a health issue that arises in your life, you do research. You want to find out if you're at the best place possible and you're going to receive the best medical care that you want. Do they take your insurance? You want a second opinion. Where should you go? Should you ask other people that you know that have had that same situation? Do you want to do your research online? So there's so many factors, so many questions to ask, and you have to figure out which ones are the most important, how to organize your information. Research is not only important for school, it's important for life. There's many things that we want to research: our health, our home, our employers, people that we have relationships with, maybe our familial backgrounds, or even where we want to go on vacation, where we want to buy our cars from, and what cars do we want to buy. So this is all like, we don't really think that this applies to our life. When you hear research, you think, oh, this is scientific, this is a study, this is very clinical. But no, research is an important part of life, and being informed and educating yourself about what you want to find about certain topics that you aren't familiar with. Research, it gives you that ability. The class for me at UW Parkside that helped me become a better researcher and opened my eyes to what types of research are out there was my Comm 208, which was taught to me by Professor Castor. The class was an online class, which was a challenge for me in itself, because when you take online classes, you really have to be self-disciplined. And when you're taking other real classes, not the virtual classes, you tend to put them ahead of that virtual class, because you actually have to be accountable by going there and turning your work in on time and presenting it. When you do an online class, it's a little bit more of a challenge. However, Professor Castor was very helpful anytime that I needed help or I had questions. So anyways, back to why her class was very important. In my life, research consisted of reading books or looking material up, or looking on the internet. And yes, I did ask people questions, but I didn't realize what types of research there were. She explained, or she taught in the class, research methods such as field research, which I thought, oh, only scientists do field research. And that's not necessarily true. We learned about qualitative research and quantitative research. We learned how to create surveys. The my research paper that I did for that class was a challenge for me, because it was a long paper. I think it was had to be over 10 pages. It was a study, so you had to conduct it with several different people. You had to do research and compare it to another study that was similar. and kind of base how you were going to conduct your study off of that. And you had to figure out what kind of research that you wanted to do. And so what I did is I learned how to create a survey on Qualtrics, and I also did interview research with actual subjects. I also learned the rules for research. My paper was about growing up in a virtual world. Is teen social media dependency more prevalent in urban or rural communities? I got the idea because of my teenage daughter and my teenage stepdaughter are always on their social media. However, my daughter lives in more of a rural area and my stepdaughter lives in more of a suburban area. So I just wanted to know, was their dependency the same on the social media? So I did create a survey, and I had to get permission, consent form signed, or verbal permission from parents for their children that were under 18 to be a part of the study and to conduct and take part in the survey. So that was something that was an experience for me, and putting it all down on paper. I also realized that surveys will give you surface information, but actual personal face-to-face interviews give you more in-depth information, and people tend to answer more honestly and straight from the heart, I guess you would say, than as if they were taking a survey where they would actually have to think about and maybe hesitate about an answer. So um, my conclusion is that it's important to be able to research effectively and have that ability in your life, in your professional life, in your school life, which is part of your profession at this point for most of us that are attending the college, and in your personal relationship life, because it's important to be a well rounded, educated individual.